everyone, and welcome back to Woo Woo Wednesday, where I share my intuitive insight and weekly wisdom with you through the use of oracle cards. I'm so excited to join you this week because it has been a doozy, and I have a feeling that some of you are gonna need this message. All right, I have a feeling that this week you are probably experiencing some crazy connections happening in your relationships, or rather disconnections. Venus went retrograde, and I swear everyone I know is breaking up left and right. So have your relationships been on edge lately? This is a time where I'm seeing tons of separation for the ability, for the space to be able to figure out who you are, who we are, who they are, and at a core level. And I feel like Venus retrograde is either going to break up everybody or bring them closer together, and you have a choice. You can look back at this relationship, whatever it may be, whether it's romantic or a friendship, and ask, like, have I outgrown it? Is this time to let go? Or is there something that you need to take responsibility for that you guys can heal and come back together even stronger? So I wanna know, I wanna tune in, like, how have your relationships been over the last week? I have seen some crazy breakups. All the tarot readings that I've done this week have resulted in, it's time to break up, it's time to separate, and I'd love to know, where are you at on this journey? And if you're just tuning in, let me know where you're watching from, and if this is your first time here for Woo Woo Wednesday. All right, I'm gonna catch up with the comments here. Hey, it's so good to see you guys. Sam's here. Oh, so nice. All right, let me pop up this chat over here. Hey guys. All right, thank you so much for tuning in live. If you know a soul sister who would love this message, we're about to dive into the Shine from the Inside Oracle to receive a message about how we can show up and commit to our self-care rituals. Today was such a fun day because we finally, after all this pandemic and closures and this and that, you know, our schedules have been changing so much lately, and it's really about going with the flow. And one of the things that got canceled and rescheduled was my oracle photo shoot. So not only will you see behind the scenes pictures, but you'll see all the beautiful product shots of the oracle deck and me working and doing readings for people. So it's crazy that it finally happened today. Today happens to be the day we finished the photo shoot, and it's been so cool to be able to see this beautiful project that I birthed in February finally have the light and the space to shine. It's so interesting. I launched a product and then Amazon's like, nope, let's not ship anything right now. I mean, it's so crazy how I birthed something and then it was like, well, wait, there's something going on, let's not celebrate it. I even had to cancel all of the tour dates for the Oracle tour that I had planned for the Goddess Gathering events in all the different cities. So it's interesting how I've had to shift in my own life and business, and finally this baby was photographed and done justice. So I cannot wait to share those with you. All right, I'm gonna check in. Ooh, Scotland's in the house. Hey, Elizabeth, so good to see you guys. All right, I'm gonna shuffle with the intention that we receive the message we most need today. And I'll just show you guys, if you haven't seen the Shine from the Inside Oracle, this is the back of the box. Oh, cards are going everywhere. Inside, it says, you are meant to shine. And what I love about it is it's so sparkly. It's hard to tell in like lights like this, but it's got so much sparkle, and when you see it in the sunlight, literally there's not a spot on the deck that doesn't shine. All right, and if you guys haven't seen the guidebook yet, it's 150 colorful pages of pure magic. So what I love about this deck is if you're new to the woo and you're like, I have no idea how to use these cards, but they're pretty and I'm drawn to them, there's an entire section in the guidebook on how to get started, how to shuffle, how to cleanse. And if you've been paying attention to my stories on Instagram lately, you'll see that I am a part of the Tarot Summer School 2020 that's happening later this summer. And I'll be teaching a masterclass all on how to create self-care rituals through the use of oracle cards. So if you're a newbie and you want to learn oracle cards, this masterclass is definitely for you. So you'll want to send me a DM so I can send you the private link for that. Well, it's not private, it's just much much easier for me to send it to you than say it out loud. All right, I'm gonna shuffle so that we all receive the message we need most during this time. Just gonna catch up with you guys here. All right, Emily's here. I need to order these. Elizabeth, yes, girl. You can go to shinefromtheinsideoracle.com. And what's awesome about ordering it through the website is once you place your order through Amazon, there's a section to download your free goodies. And as a gift to say thank you for purchasing my first physical product, my Oracle deck, I'm gifting you my most popular self-love meditation and access to module 1 of Shine School, because I kept thinking, how could I really help to support you outside of the Oracle cards? And I kept thinking, if they don't schedule self-care and if they don't take time to reflect on what they need, then they're never gonna make it happen. And so module 1 of Shine School is all about creating those self-care rituals and staying consistent, guilt-free. So I give you access for free to that, and you'll also get a copy of the digital guidebook so that you can take the wisdom on the go. So be sure to download all your free goodies, especially if you're someone who's already ordered the deck and you didn't know there was free goodies involved. Get your booty over to the website at Shine from the Inside Oracle and download those now. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Anja. So good to see you guys. All right, I've got one card that came up for the week already, and I'm just shuffling to see what is the next card that we're looking for. Woo. How have you guys been doing? Are you going back into your normal life? Like, are things totally different for you? Are you still in quarantine? I kind of feel like, golly, cards are flying everywhere. I kind of feel like people are starting to emerge again, starting to like, to connect again, which is something I've missed so much, especially in my salon. I'm back working, so I'm having to find a new balance in my routine. And it's been so cool to be able to hear how everyone's used their time wisely and or chaotically. And it's been all over the board. So I wanna know, let's check in before we dive into the cards. Like, how do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as like inner peace and calm? Like, where are you at right now? Because if you're anything less than a 7, which you know in the elevated life, we teach living a 7 or above kind of lifestyle. If you're anything less than that, then this is gonna be a perfect opportunity. If you're here, if you're watching, use this time to bring yourself up at least just 1 level. We do that by being present. So if you're here and you're ready for this reading, let me know by saying, I'm ready, smash some hearts. And I want you to take a nice long deep breath in through your nose. And whenever you're done exhaling, I want you to just like sigh it out and let all of those muscles melt and the tensions fade away. I want you to just to ground yourself, to be present, and to really just focus your awareness here in this moment. All right, when you guys are ready for this reading, let me know in the comments and I will get started. Also, if you know a soul sister who would love this message, please tag him to join and we will get this party started. Ellie says, I'm ready. Sarah says, we are still in lockdown. Okay, I understand. Emily says, I'm ready. You guys are ready. Okay, let's do this. The first card that comes up for the week, ooh, interesting. Align your actions with your intentions. This is a card of first taking a pause. You know, with 4 planets in retrograde right now, like, whoa, it is all about inner transformative healing work. And we're gonna come out on the other side of this in about 5 months when all those planets start to shift back, moving forward. And we're gonna have a whole new sense of reality, a whole new sense of perspective. And with that means that our actions and our goals are gonna have to change so that they stay in alignment with who we become during this process of transformation. So this is a moment of saying, take a pause. Give yourself space to really figure out who you are and where you want to be going. Right now, Chris and I are taking a collective pause with everything that we're doing. However, I'm on here creating content, but we're kind of asking ourselves, like, what's the best way we can show up and serve? Which you guys might already know, we're creating the Elevated Life podcast because we thought that would be an easier way to get the content out and stay consistent without having to like produce all this different stuff. So you might be at a turning point in your life where you're like, you know, I was going towards a goal and I was taking action in this one particular way, but now that I've gotten so far along that path on that journey to the goal, maybe the actions that I'm taking need to shift and change during this time. So what actions are you taking right now that maybe aren't in alignment with the new goals or the new version of yourself that is emerging? Is there something that you've been putting your heart and soul into that just doesn't feel like it's worth creating anymore, that it's time to move on to a new project? I feel like this card is one that says it's okay to take a pause and it's okay to stop doing things that you've always done. For me, I'm considering this being the last year at my hair salon, and that's been a long time coming. growing, as well as it's crazy to think that I'm at this point where I want to let go of something that I've loved so much for 14 years because I know there's something more, and there's something more in alignment with what I am wanting to create in this world. So is there something that, even though you love it, you know you need to leave it behind? Drop that in the comments below and let me hear where you're at on that journey. All right, walk your talk. That's exactly what it is. Like, don't start walking until you know the direction you want to go, and then commit. That way you can stay in alignment, so you know you have the clarity, like, this is where I'm going. And when opportunities show up that aren't in alignment with your goal, it's so much easier for you to say no, because you can say, is this going to take me closer to that end destination that I'm working for? And if the answer is no, then your answer is no. All right, the next card that comes up, whoa, journal it out and write how you feel. Well, if that's not an interesting card to come up after align your actions with your intentions. Well, before we can align our actions with our intentions, we got to get clear on what those intentions are, just like we were talking about. So when I say journal it out, write how you feel, this is giving you the space and opportunity to be able to explore your emotions and how you feel from a higher perspective. Because when we stay in our mind, you know, Albert Einstein said the same mind that created the problem can't be the one to solve it. And what he means by that is not asking your mama. He means that you can't be in that victimhood, problematic mentality to be able to find the solution. So for me, journaling has been that reflective tool to get me out of my head, into my heart, and start writing out all the things that I'm feeling, especially when the cards come up. So for example, with align your actions with your intentions, journaling would start around, what are my intentions? Why am I here? What do I want to be doing with my time? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want to leave behind? Really figuring out who you are. And I think journaling it out will really help to create the clarity you need to bust through the fear that stops you from saying, yeah, this is possible. Because sometimes when we're dreaming up, like, what is it that we want? Oh, we want to make some changes. Fear gets in the way because it's uncomfortable, and fear of change typically really stops us in our tracks. So when we can start to write it out, we can really write through all the nonsense that our brain is trying to throw at us to stop us from getting outside of our comfort zone and doing something differently in our life. So I want to know, I want to take a collective poll. Do you journal on a semi-regular basis? I'm not saying every single day, which for me, I personally do, because when I pull a tarot or an oracle card, I always journal it out and I write, how does this make me feel? What does this card represent? How can I use this in my life? And that's been a practice that I've done for the last 8 years working with the cards, and it's actually something I teach inside that masterclass I was telling you about in Tarot School 2020. And so it's funny because when I was talking about how you want to use journaling as that deeper reflective tool to really get past your mind and fear and get to the heart and soul of things, I pulled a card just to say, okay, let's pick a card and we'll talk about how we would journal it out. Well, I pulled a card randomly out of the deck, and it was journal it out, right? How you feel, which is what we just pulled. So I was like, well, that's kind of self-explanatory. We're gonna journal it out. So it's funny that this card keeps showing up during this time, because it means that a lot of you aren't taking the time to get out of your head, and that's causing a lot more confusion, chaos, and uncertainty. So I think it's really important for you to find a way to get it out of your head, whether that be hiring a coach or having a best friend who's got your best interest, or using something like a journal to be able to just like, this is how I feel, and brain dump it all out. You know, at the goddess gatherings every full moon, I have them just write out everything that they're feeling, everything that's heavy, everything that's weighing on them, and then we burn it. We do a release ritual. So writing in your journal is like one of the most powerful release rituals. And when I was asking and doing like a survey of all of my clients and all the women that I worked with, like, do you journal? Would you want this in a course, you know, inside Shine School? Like I mentioned, in module 1, there's a whole lesson on journaling. And when I asked a client if she would be interested in that, would she like that in the course? And she was like, oh no. I thought immediately, well, then that's going in module 1, because we resist what we need the most. So if you've been resisting journaling, but you are lacking the clarity or figuring out how you feel, then this might be a good tool for you to pull out and try. Anne just says, I have chills. This is exactly what I needed to hear today. I love that. Sarah says, not jumping the gun, keeping the pace. Absolutely. Elizabeth says, yes, I need to journal more. All right, guys. So this is a time for you to like get out of your head and reflect onto paper. What is it? I mean, it's like creating a vision board. That's us getting out of our head and creating a physical external representation of what it is we want. All right, last card. Oh my gosh, I'm missing all of these Instagram comments. I'm so sorry. It was like stuck at the beginning. Let me scroll down. Are oracle cards similar to tarot? Where should they be, or should they be gifted to you? You know, this is another thing I teach in that masterclass, but because you guys are here with me now, I'll share the secret. You do not have to be gifted a deck to be able to make it magical. I bought my first deck in 2012 and I still use it to this day to connect with past loved ones, to help read for other people, and to read for myself, and I gifted it to me. So that is not an accurate statement. Now, if you feel like you're more drawn to it because someone gifts it to you, then like maybe you put some hints out to your friends or whatever you need to be able to pick it up and use it. The best deck you could ever get is the one that you'll actually use. So you do not have to wait for that. Great question though. All right, what other questions do you guys have? New York is still entirely shut down. No open date in sight. Oh my gosh, sending you guys so much love. Washington is opening and we will be moving into phase 2 hopefully in a week. I so needed this today after a rough morning. Sending you guys so much love. Just catching up on all the comments here on Instagram. Amanda's here. Everything has changed for the better. We always need a pause. Absolutely. This is a total collective like reshift and reboot. I mean, I'm also working on a course called Shift to help you all move through these transitions with ease and flow and grace, because hey, times are changing. We got to roll with it. All right, what else? Journaling has helped me so much. Makes my intentions and thoughts so clear. Exactly. Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. Okay, caught up with you guys here. All right, are you guys ready for this last card for the week? And what card has resonated with you? What are you feeling called to commit to in your self-care rituals? Oh, good gracious. Your ego shouts fear and your soul whispers love. Wow, wow, wow. Well, typically when our ego is shouting so loudly, we don't feel like we have clarity or connection to our soul. And that's why we do the journaling process, so that we can clear out all that negative self-talk and all the mental chatter and the fear and the blah, 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 and really get to that quiet, gentle whisper. Why do I feel this way? What is causing this? Where did this come from in the past? And how is it affecting me now? And do I even need this anymore? Is it time to let it go? What a beautiful card that says, if your ego's shouting at you, you're not good enough, blah, 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 you can recognize that that isn't who you are. That is just a protection mechanism that's been programmed incorrectly. So when we tune into those gentle whispers of our soul, they're typically loving thoughts. They may scare us because the truth is a little scary and requires us to take action outside of our comfort zone. But when it's in alignment with our soul, then, and we take the action despite the fear, we're always blessed with magic on the other side of that comfort zone. Divine timing, just what I wanted to hear. Oh my gosh, so happy to share that. I want to know, where are you guys at in your journey right now? Are you feeling like a massive call to shift and change how you're showing up, who you're spending your time with, the way that you show up in relationships? That's been a big topic of conversation around here. Is Venus retrograde being relentless around here? So I want to know, how are you guys being affected during this time, whether it be through the pandemic or the friggin' planetary changes that are happening, whether you subscribe to astrology or not. Elizabeth says, been telling ego to shut up. You know, something that I've been kind of feeling a lot more now at this point in my journey is, in the beginning I was like, that inner mean girl, like fuck her, blah blah blah. And in Shine School there's a whole section on teaching, you know, becoming besties with your inner mean girl. And I'm kind of at this other level of understanding when it comes to our ego, that our ego has been hurt, and that's why she's like a crazy bitch. And so if we can find out where she was hurt and why she was hurt, and give her that space to express herself and say, this is how I feel, and that typically like takes off that edge of anger or frustration or bitchiness. And so it's not about telling her to shut up and like trying to, like, you're over there and I'm over here, but rather like put your arm around your ego and say, I fucking love you, honey. Like, what happened? Why are you hurt? How can we move forward together? So I think, you know, it takes time, because we're so used to beating ourselves up that it seems weird to even befriend ourselves. But at this point, I'm feeling like our ego just needs a hug, y'all. All right, what else? Feeling out of alignment and not trusting myself all year. Well, honey, this is a beautiful time for you to start making different moves and trying something different. Elizabeth says, yes, massive shift, huge push to shift, but feeling very lost in which direction to take. And that's a cool part of change. Like when you're in the darkness of the chrysalis of that, you know, if you're the caterpillar going into the cocoon, like it's dark, you don't know the direction, you're mush, but you know that on the other side of it, there's a new direction. So if you're in the middle of that transformation, you don't need to know where you're headed. You just need to be present and witness what is coming up to be released. What new skills are you acquiring? What are you curious about? Where are your passions pulling you and leading you? Where are those, you know, inspirations or divine guidance or book recommendations or things like that that keep showing up to kind of give you those nuggets to kind of shift that direction where your path is heading? So I would say if you're in that space of like, I don't know, it's dark in here and it's scary and I'm confused and I don't know who I am anymore, this is a beautiful place to be in. Just chill, just pause. You don't need to know the next step. It'll come in time. So if you can find a way to just relax during the process, this is why I'm always talking about committing to your self-care rituals, because no matter what, that's the foundation of our wellness. And so if you're in that middle of the transition and you don't know the next step, pause before you take action that's out of alignment with your intentions and your integrity. So while you're in that change and that chrysalis of, you know, the transformation, give yourself permission to explore that new version of yourself. What will I stand for? What boundaries do I want to place after I come out on the other side? Start getting clear on those things that you know you can set that foundation on, and then those puzzle pieces will show up to help guide you along that next right path. But most importantly, just be present with the process. Don't try to rush it. I love that you just said that about ego and inner mean girl, currently working on healing. Yeah, we have to befriend her, because fighting her is just going to create more of that schizophrenic like disconnection. We've got to be able to holistically heal and bring them both together. Love that. It sure does need a hug. Well, I'm sending you guys massive loves and hug to give some sparkle magic to your ego so she can calm down. You know, like we're here to be of love, and our ego is a great tool for protection, but not when we're using it against ourselves, y'all. Okay, what else? Filling the gap of need to feel worthy instead. Yeah, filling the gap of need to feeling worthy instead. I know what you're saying, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't like miss a word there. Yeah, I was just talking about nobody else's, no partner, no president, nobody's love is ever gonna fill that void that you feel like you have in your heart. If you feel like something's missing, like you're not fully lovable, it's because you haven't given yourself the love that you're searching for. It will never be found outside of yourself, and that's probably why you're still like, where is it? Because you haven't looked within. And the Shine from the Inside card deck is all about having you turn your awareness in and realize that you are amazing, and all you have to do is get on your own team. It doesn't matter what other people are thinking or doing. It's about you becoming your own bestie. It's called self-confidence, self-love, and self-worth, because only you can choose that. All right, what else? Any other thoughts, questions, ideas before I hop off of here? You guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here on Woo Woo Wednesday. The first card we had was align your actions with your intentions. So take a pause, make sure you have clarity on who you are and what you want. And if you're someone who's like, I don't even know who I am right now, I'm stuck behind all the fear and the labels and the doubt, then I actually have a free video series called Awaken Your Authentic Self to help you move through that transition of letting go of the labels and rediscovering who you are with better boundaries in place so that you can show up and push fear to the side and say, you know what, I'm here for a reason, and I freaking love who I am, and no longer allowing self-doubt or people-pleasing or wearing the mask as our option. We can't have that as an option anymore. So if you're someone who's stuck not knowing how to take off the mask and step into their authentic self, then go to brittneycarmichael.com/awaken, and that will get you started on a free video series to help you pull back the layers and the labels that stop you from shining bright. All right, the second card was journal it out, write how you feel. This is a reminder to get out of your head and into your heart and have a different perspective, whether that be you use a journal or a friend or a coach. I think it's important for you to get it all out of here. Like, you can't figure it out if it's all stuck, okay? We've got to air it out, share it with friends, or share it with yourself if you don't feel comfortable being vulnerable. All right, your soul whispers love and your ego shouts fear. Right now, if you can tune in to whatever that negative self-talk is, if it's like, you're fat, or you're never gonna make enough money, or this relationship, blah, 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 you're not lovable. Like, I want you to tune in to what is your ego shouting at you, because that's the first place that you can start to make those changes and the healing transformation that your soul is trying to guide you to. Your ego's trying to help you heal, but she's just doing it in a kind of rude way. So we've just got to help her find a new voice and a new expression. You are amazing. Thank you so much. I really needed this. Appreciate it. Absolutely. Yes. Masks off, boundaries on. Bingo, girlfriend. Are you on 2 different lives because you aren't looking at your comments? I am doing my best, y'all. I am on like 3 different lives. So if there's something specifically that you would that I skipped, please feel free to share it again. Miss Bridget's here. Dara's here. It's so good to see you guys. Yeah, what's your question? Happy to answer it. Any questions, leave them in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. If not, I'll go back and check them out. This has been such an amazing time to be able to join you and remind you that things are changing big time, not just in our collective communities and the way that we're having to do protocols and guidelines, but on an internal level. Our consciousness is waking up and we're starting to realize that we are more powerful than we've ever been told before. And power can be scary if you've never wielded it or you don't know how to use that willpower. So I want you to be gentle with yourself during this time. Be patient and just like allow yourself to be in the darkness for a minute. It's not a scary place. It may be a little uncomfortable, and okay, sure, maybe it's a little scary, but it doesn't have to be. It's a part of the process. If you think about nature and the cycles of the seasons, the darkness in the winter helps to create new, deeper inner work, more healing, more deep rest. And with that, we have the energy to emerge in the spring and summer to be as vibrant as possible. But we would burn out. We wouldn't have that vibrancy in the summer if we didn't take time to refuel and recharge in the winter. So if you're in a stage and a period of darkness in your life, don't feel like you're doing it wrong. It's just to help you revitalize your energy, to get clear on, when I emerge out of this, what direction do I want to head, and give you that almost comfort zone. So many people find themselves uncomfortable in that transition, but I find it to be the most comforting because I don't want to stay the version of myself that I've been my entire life. I'm all about evolving and allowing myself to emerge as a more embodied version, and that happens on a daily basis. So if you're going through a big turning point that you haven't shifted in a long time, I understand. It can feel unstable. Your root chakra can be like, oh my God, what is happening? So you have to find these rituals, self-care rituals, to have that sense of stability and foundation. Hello from Ontario. Elizabeth says, love that I made it. Me too, girls. I so appreciate all the support. Do you do personal readings? Yes, I do. So you can go to brittneycarmichael.com/tarot and you can book a one-on-one empowerment session with me. These have been a lot about breakups, okay? So if you're in a toxic relationship and you need someone to like kick your ass out of it, then I would suggest getting on a call with me, because Venus retrograde is coming through hot. And breaking up these relationships that aren't authentically aligned anymore. All right, what else? Any other questions that you guys have for me? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It has been absolutely wonderful to share my passion of reading tarot and oracle with you, and just shining a light on the fact that sometimes life is hard. It requires patience. We have to pause. We have to sit in the darkness, in uncertainty, because all of that is building our strength on the other side. So be comfortable in the uncomfortable this week. It's okay that things are changing. It's okay to let go of things that you've once loved and had in your life for many, many years. It's okay to break those habits and patterns and choose to be somebody different, which when I say be someone different, I'm asking you to be who you really are. Elizabeth says she's the best. I need another reading. Oh my gosh, Elizabeth, thank you so much. I would love to connect with you and see where you're at and where you're headed on the other side of all of these changes. I kind of feel like we need a wild card today, so I'm gonna pull one more card for anyone who's still hanging out, and I appreciate the love and support every Wednesday here for Woo Woo Wednesday. The last card, oh my God, allow unlimited abundance. This is a very powerful message that even if you've been without without a job. That does not mean that the avenues of abundance are cut off completely. So stop saying, I'm poor, I don't have money, or blah, blah, blah. Like that is cutting off of those avenues that abundance is trying to make their way into your life. So I feel like this message is to stop and to pause and to really just say, you know what, I may not know exactly where I'm headed or what I want or whatever, but I trust that I'm exactly where I need to be, and I open up to receive all the resources that I need to help me move through this transition. And that abundance may not be financial. It may be that you need an abundance of support through this transition. It may mean that you need abundance of rest during this transition. It may mean that you need abundance of friendship or whatever. It doesn't have to just be money when I say allow a limited abundance. You know, abundance means to have a lot of, to appreciate means to make more of. So if you're asking, well, how do I allow abundance, especially if I grew up with a negative money mindset? Then the way that you start doing that is just by saying yes when people start offering their help. Can I get the door for you? Instead of you saying, no, I can do it myself, you have to just start saying, yes, thank you. And to appreciate means to make more of. So if you want to start creating more abundance in your life, start appreciating what you do have and start appreciating what you don't have but want to make more of it. Because when you start saying thank you, it starts bringing that into your life, whether it's in the physical reality or not. Our manifestation power is to be able to project our thoughts and say, this is what I want more of. Thank you for bringing it to me. And when you can do that with the faith and gratitude that it is already provided before it hits your hands, you'll be surprised at how it hits your hands. But we've gotten this equation wrong and backward, and we are like, well, where is it? I don't see it, but I've been wanting it. But all of the belief that it's not possible or it has to come this particular way is stopping that magic from making its way into your life. So felt like I needed to do one more card pull. I hope that resonated with you guys. Scarlett says, you always say the right thing when I really need to hear it most. Thank you. Oh my gosh, Scarlett, thank you so much. It's so cool to see you guys still tuning in. Even if you've booked readings with me years ago, you're still here supporting me. I freaking thank you for that. I just love being able to share the wisdom and the love and that empowerment that all of us need to hear, that we are amazing, that you are amazing, that you're amazing and you're amazing and you're amazing, and all the cameras and all the people, you guys are so fucking amazing. I just hope that you can see that and remember that when you shine from the inside, you are here lighting up the world and doing your purpose, because the more we can get out of our own way and stop self-sabotaging, the more we can show up and be of service and offer our love and light to the world. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for shining. If you know someone who would love this message, please tag them, share it, like it, subscribe, whatever you gotta do to spread the good vibes. And I will catch you guys next week for Woo Woo Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're ready for a one-on-one session with me, you can go to brittneycarmichael.com/tarot, and I will see you on the other side. Peace.